Welcome to the Game Boyz Podcast show, a show for nerds made by nerds. So make sure to curl your neck beard, put your anime in your second monitor, and join us for the rest of the ride here. I'm PJ, joined by my other lovely co-hosts. I have John over here and also James.
Hi.
How's everybody doing today?
Good. The original tagline that you made was a lot dirtier than that.
Well, you know, I had to clean it up just a little bit.
Was it just my butt cheeks that were clenched?
Yes,
I was like, oh no, this is the same exact one you did before.
It's fine. It's fine. It's almost better than pulling things out of Cards Against Humanity, but we're moving past. But there's so much to talk about today. I feel like there's a lot of things that I've had come up that I want to nerd out about and just do my thing here because I've been cooped up and getting ready to just let my freak flag fly, if you know what I mean.
Dude, you're a Pokemon TCG team manager. That is like the biggest freak flag you could fly.
I know. I guess so. Yeah. Like when I tell people out in the wild, what I do as my side project, right? I'm like, yeah, it's like the New York Yankees, but Pokemon.
And they're like, so it's not like the New York
No,
Yankees.
it's not
Yeah,
like
at
the
all.
year.
So the really funny thing is that I was on the phone. I was FaceTiming my brother, and he and I had some of like my Pokemon stuff out from when we were doing stuff. So I had like the nice Halloween fig that comes from the Pokemon Center, all this other stuff, and my brother's like, oh, where'd you get that stuff from? I'm like, oh, yeah, I volunteer as a judge down at the local card shop to help kids play. And all that I have to say is that they're mentally children. They're not actually children.
Yes.
I usually leave that part out.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay.
It just looks a little better. That's all.
Yeah.
I do get asked, are there kids that play card games with you? And yeah, they are.
Dude, that's why I have so many friends that are like, I love the Pokemon TCG, but I cannot play because I have to fight a kid. Like, we're sitting down playing against a kid who doesn't know what he's doing.
What do you think is the most adult or most non-adult adult card game that there is out there? Like,
you're saying like something that's clearly geared towards kids, but only adults play? It has to be Yu-Gi-Oh!
You think so?
Really?
Yeah, it has to be Yu-Gi-Oh!
You think Yu-Gi-Oh beats out Pokemon?
For how many adults actually play the game?
Yeah.
Yes.
But made for kids.
Yes.
I don't consider Yu-Gi-Oh made for kids. There's a lot more to it than Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're talking about like 8 and up? Or are you talking
I
about
have
like
never
14?
seen a child play Lorcana. I'm just saying.
That's true. Oh my God.
Right?
That's true though. Okay, hold on. You just stun-locked me, and it's not even like the first 5 minutes in the podcast.
That's fair.
Okay, no, you're right. I think Lorcana has to be it. Right?
Okay.
And like you'd think with like a Disney IP, but the problem is that you ever see those things about Disney adults?
Oh,
Do
shit.
you guys know about Disney?
Well, is
adults?
that, it's like the,
John's
is
getting
that like the bronies?
Yeah. Oh my God, John's like, please. John's like, please don't look at me.
I would like to use this time to announce that I am, in fact,
A brony?
suffering from Disney adult.
That's fair.
Oh
That's
my
fair.
Lord.
Yeah, I'm 3 years into having an annual pass to Disney World.
No, but there's a difference between being an adult that goes to Disney and being a Disney adult. Right?
Yes.
Like I hear about the Disney stuff when you're an adult at Disney, it's like, hey, we go on rides, we do this stuff, we have beers, it's a good time because we do the adult curated experience.
Yeah.
Versus the people that dress up like their favorite like characters in Disney.
Yeah,
Okay.
no offense to anyone listening that does dress up like characters.
yeah.
But also, I mean, if you're dressing up and you're just getting I don't feel like I'm experiencing Disney World dressed up as a character.
Yeah,
I feel
I
like
don't think
that's
so
other
either.
people's jobs. They get paid for that.
Yeah, no, but like I get it, right?
Yeah.
So there's a thing called Disney bounding.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Disney bounding is different than dressing up as a character. That is using like the same colors as a character.
Yeah, but that's because
Is
you're
there
not
a
allowed
safe
to.
word involved?
Oh my God, dude, no, but that's because you're not allowed to dress up as characters in the park.
That's not true.
Really?
You actually can. You just need to be particular about it. They won't let you in if you look too much like the character.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Oh my God.
But if I went like dressed as Winnie the Pooh, they wouldn't let me in.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Oh my God.
That's just what you wear to bed every night.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
anyway,
What I do in my spare time is none of your business.
Is that what they call a honeypot?
yes, it's a honeypot. So let's kind of transition. There's been some nerding out I've seen from fans with Disney movies because they're making all these Disney live action movies. And there's been a lot of speculation around like the new Snow White movie.
Yeah.
That's come out.
Little? Oh my God.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the CGI stuff, and people will get upset, like actually upset about these movies. And it's just because there's nostalgia behind it and you want to relive your childhood. And that's kind of like where a lot of the nerdy stuff, the games and things like that come into play. And I feel like with Disney literally being the worst casting team I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And then just going, you know what? Screw it. We're just going to CGI everything and go from there. But then we look at other things that like those listening right now, I'm wearing a Spider-Man shirt. I love Spider-Man.
Right.
We look at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then we've got crossovers like Wicked, which was a great movie, and now there's all
I'm
this...
sorry, are you talking about a Marvel Wicked crossover?
There is.
Because I'm down.
This is the thing.
Wait,
is like
hold on. What?
Cynthia Erivo.
Oh, she wants to play Storm.
She wants to play Storm in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I'm like, yes.
Can I tell you how much of a dumbass I am?
Sure.
I will tell you, because I saw a picture of her, like, so I had never seen what she had looked like without the Wicked makeup before.
Okay.
And I've never seen Wicked. But if you're cast as her in Wicked,
Yeah.
or whatever, I don't know too much about Wicked.
Uh-huh.
I was a theater kid growing
Oh
up, but I
my
never saw
God.
Wicked. But I know, I'm sorry, I'm out of the podcast, it's
Yes,
over.
done.
No, but like, I'm an idiot. I will just say this, because
Okay.
my first thought when I saw the article of her being like, I want to be Storm.
Yeah.
She has a bald head in the article, and I immediately go, she can't be Storm. She's bald.
Wow.
And I just
Wow.
went, and then I immediately stepped back and I went, she can wear a wig, you dumbass. Like, and I'm just like,
That was your cue. That was like, but that's the thing is like you get these people that are upset about the Disney
right.
reanimation and not even reanimation, just live action movies recreated. But then like Storm, there's so many people that literally hate the MCU right now,
Right.
because it's just been beat to death. And now you see something like this crossover, which I feel like I'm a Wicked fan.
Okay.
Wait, a Wicked fan of what?
Exactly.
I was
I'm
gonna be
a
like,
Wicked fan from Boston. Anyway,
From Boston.
bang into the mic. As far as it goes, I think that crossover. I think Cynthia is a phenomenal actress.
She has to be, dude, like to get into that type of role.
Yeah, I mean, actress, singer. I mean, I don't want to see Storm sing, but they definitely would have cast a better singer than literally any of the live action Disney movies. But that's another subject we can go down some other day. But I think that doing crossovers for people who really fit a role, who are great, should carry on those roles because it's going to give nostalgia to another generation.
Are you considering the same actor as a crossover?
Well,
I think it's like fandom crossover.
yes, exactly.
So the idea is
Okay.
that not
Yeah.
crossover is in like, oh, Marvel is now having Wicked. Like,
Yes.
you're gonna see Spider-Man singing whatever.
yes,
I don't
a
know.
Spider-Man musical. Now that
Okay, but
Yeah.
I would watch a Spider-Man musical.
No,
fair.
they had a Spider-Man musical, but a ton of people got hurt during it. It was on Broadway.
yes, that was a
Yeah.
real thing.
And
Yeah.
a lot of people
a lot
got
of
hurt.
people.
Oh my god.
It
Yeah.
was considered a cursed show.
This is
Speaking
brand
of,
new to
it's
me.
just like Wizard of Oz, the original movie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, like you ever, and then like Twilight Zone the movie and stuff
Yeah.
like that. You ever
Oh,
hear about
I
that?
just saw that.
So the original Twilight Zone movie is the reason why they don't use real helicopters in movies anymore,
Mm.
because the actor that played the lead and a kid got decapitated
Yeah.
on set.
yeah.
Dang.
But I did want to bring up, speaking of really bad CGI and Marvel movies.
Sure.
Let's talk about Ant-Man Quantum.
I knew it.
And no, but the only reason I'm bringing it up is because that was like kind of weird. Like
Sure.
we grew up with 90s movies, like,
Yeah.
like Indian in the Cupboard and like
Yep,
all this
yep.
other stuff where they like used CGI and practical and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like it was really good in certain parts and then really bad in other parts. Like Gremlins looked really well for the time. And when
Right.
you watch that now, you're like, it still holds up.
Yep.
But then like, you get other stuff where you're like, how the hell did this happen? But
Exactly.
like the whole idea with Quantumanium, I'm like, I see the bad CGI. I'm like, I mean, I've seen worse.
Yeah.
But I guess a lot of people have higher standards where they're like, why would this
Sure.
be in a Marvel movie?
Right.
The one that really got me. So, all right, ready for me to get judgment and like not be back on the next episode?
Yeah.
My favorite Marvel movie. My favorite Marvel movie.
We're just jumping in. All right.
Do you know?
All right.
Do you guys even know what I'm like with bad CGI? What am I gonna say?
Are you going to talk about the Incredible Hulk?
No, actually,
Okay.
yeah. Oh my god. No, I loved Multiverse of Madness. It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
We saw it
We did.
in
Yeah.
New Jersey. I
We
think
went
it
to New
was?
Jersey to see it. I love Sam Raimi.
Yeah, Sam Raimi's
Yeah,
fantastic.
dude.
I am a Sam Raimi nerd.
I love Bruce
1,000%.
Campbell. I
Yes.
love
yes.
like Evil Dead and all this
Yes.
other stuff, right? So like so spoilers for people who haven't seen Multiverse of Madness, right? So the whole thing's about the Darkhold, Scarlet Witch, all this other stuff, and you're like, oh man, are we gonna see Mephisto? That's gonna be rad, and then no Mephisto.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yet.
Yet.
Yeah.
He's been brought up a couple times.
In I haven't
Yeah.
seen Agatha all along yet, so
Oh.
but I know that he was brought up in it
Oh, so
because
good.
Wiccan's there, and if Wiccan's there, then you have to bring up Mephisto.
Yeah.
So
But-
yes, and the end credit scene of the end credit scene for Multiverse of Madness was
Was
Oh,
Incredibles.
what's her name?
Yeah.
Was
it was Michelle.
Cleo, not Clea? Clea, was it?
I forget
forget.
her name. Sure.
Yeah.
But either way, that's not Mephisto's daughter. That is
That's Dormammu's daughter. Isn't it?
my
Not
brain
Dormammu.
kept going to
What?
Dormanitan.
Yeah,
Darmanitan. Now we're doing that Pokemon crossover. Pokemon musical.
Oh my god! So what happens is that like the the zombie thing was rad.
Yeah.
When Doctor
Oh,
Strange was speaking of crossovers, Benedict Cumberbatch is a fantastic actor for
Yes.
Doctor Strange.
Sure.
Right. And then like the zombie cape and all the arms and all this
Yeah.
other stuff is rad, and all the multiverse stuff is rad. And then when you see Darkhold Stephen Strange, because of the lighting, the third eye doesn't look weird.
Right.
And then when he's in the middle of being on the street,
street?
and then
Yeah.
it pops open and it looks like it was like put in After Effects real quickly.
Yes, yeah.
They just took the previous one that they made and they just layered it on top. And I'm just like, what are you doing, guys? Like,
Yeah.
I know.
I mean, but you guys know the reports, right? Apparently their CGI team's getting like overworked
Oh,
So-
and
really?
underpaid.
it's not
Well,
that
that makes
they
sense.
outsource to
Oh, okay.
visual studio or visual art or visual effects artists companies, studios.
Right.
That do it, and they are continuously paying less and less
Right.
and less for these things, and it's like they don't have the time to do it. So like,
Right.
it makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
That's tough. And I mean, I know that it's a big thing in Hollywood now that the people aren't getting paid what they're worth, and it makes sense, right?
But that's with everything nowadays.
Exactly.
It's just like I hate to say it, but like COVID did this thing
Mm-hmm.
where everybody got a lot of money was injected into the economy and it
Yeah.
flew up. And like, yeah, it's not a big deal. People needed money. Totally
Yeah,
get it.
right.
Like, and like, we're not like preaching anything left or right here. But like, then all of a sudden, people went back to their normal lives. They didn't have this
Mm-hmm.
influx of money, and a bunch of companies and businesses had a whole bunch of money. So we got this inflation, and stuff didn't go up.
Right.
Like wages
Yeah.
didn't go up.
Yeah.
That's just it. It sucks. So like, while we're doing it, burn down.
burn down everything.
Cut that out. Cut that out, PJ. Cut that out.
Cut that.
But I mean, there has been some significant like games that have come out too from, post pandemic. Obviously,
Yeah.
like currently, I'm honestly waiting. We talk about Pokemon. There's got to be a new Pokemon game coming out pretty soon.
Oh no!
Sorry, they're not. It's not coming out. It's probably going to come out either the end of this year or the end of next year.
Yeah.
I would expect the end of next
Legends,
year.
right? Legends Z.
So we're getting Legends.
We're getting
See?
Legends this year.
yeah.
We're
But
get-
that's gonna be for the Switch, not the
Okay.
Switch 2.
Correct.
The Switch 2 is
Yeah.
supposed to be coming out in March.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So
June?
Switch
Yeah.
2
Somewhere
is
around
something I wanted to talk about too,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to know somebody that is very minimalistic when it comes to like actual video games. Because I still play like a Nintendo 64.
That's a good
It's
graphics,
2025, and I still play a Nintendo 64.
I'm sorry.
You hook it up to your AV cables, and nobody knows what that is if you're below the age of 18.
Or you're a
But-
Super Smash
Yeah.
Bros. player.
yeah.
It's pretty notable that now the being old
Yeah.
is anyone that doesn't have a birthday that starts with a 2.
Oh
Gotcha.
damn!
That's
fair.
what old is considered now.
That's fair.
Hmm.
And I ain't even
That
freaking
tracks.
close.
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway, so I play the Switch occasionally, and I've also played Xbox 360. That's where like I'm at. Yeah, Xbox.
Sure.
Okay.
No, the Xbox One is the
Okay.
one that I'm
Okay.
playing
Yeah.
now. And I still play GoldenEye on that.
All right.
But regardless, I want to know, like, is it actually worth it for me to invest in a Switch 2? Because the battery on my original Switch, and that's what I have,
I know you have original.
awful.
So they came out with
Absolutely
the
awful.
original, then they came out with the updated CPU with the
Yep.
better battery,
Yep.
then they came out with the OLED version.
Sure.
Yep.
And now they're coming out with the Switch 2. Switch 2 is supposed to be a lot more powerful. So I don't know if you knew this, but the chip that's in the original Switch is like 10 years old.
Yeah.
Or
It's like-
more.
And
It's an old Tegra 2, I think it is.
yeah, and the idea is that it's a mobile processor. It
Yeah.
was used for gaming phones.
Got it.
So like and like
years ago.
yeah. So I mean, if you're asking, do I buy a Switch 2 day one?
Yeah.
Unless you have major FOMO,
Yeah.
then don't. Right?
Sure.
Like John and I, we have the disposable income to go out and buy
Sure,
a Switch
sure.
2. You know what I mean? Like,
Did you just indirectly call me poor?
yeah, so
I
you asked
indirectly
me
called
for
you-
$20 to go to the bus station. I don't know why you asked for $20 for it, but
No, that was for before I got to the bus.
yeah, it was to get your M&Ms and
Yeah.
but okay, so no, but like so this is the way that I always view technology.
Yeah.
You don't want to get the first production of it
That's
if you
also
can
fair.
avoid it. The reason being is that while the first production is the way is like the cool I got the hip thing,
Yep.
you're always going to get further improvements down the line that make it a tiny bit better.
Sure.
So, and you're going to get some like kinks that,
Yeah.
get
I already
ironed out.
have enough of those.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. That took long.
What's on the timer right now? Okay. Hey,
20
look,
minutes.
we're only like 15 minutes in.
That's fair. That's fair.
So here's my thought process.
Yes.
As someone who firmly believes that FOMO is a thing and suffers
Yeah.
drastically from it,
Yeah.
if you look on the table right there, there's a piece of equipment that
Yeah.
I had no business buying day
I
of.
can't look on the table because I'm listening to the podcast, John.
Oh, that's true.
So for anyone, we gotta remember that, man. That's gotta be my hardest thing doing a audio podcast is that I need to explain what the heck I'm talking about.
It's an Apple Vision Pro, okay?
It's an Apple
That's it.
Vision Pro.
Yeah.
And I bought it the moment it came out. And let me
Yeah.
tell you, it was a wonderful couple months.
Yeah.
I didn't leave my room, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
I was watching movies.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was just really cool. So
Foreign films. You like gladiator movies, Johnny?
you ever been in the cockpit of a plane before? And so with the whole FOMO thing, I bought it immediately. Like I used the money, I bought it. I was like, yes, I loved it. And
Yeah.
then it trickled off. The more and more I
Yeah.
realized that it's kind of annoying to be able to. It's so heavy.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time into the mic. It what?
Trickled off.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
Trickled.
Continue.
And I think it goes the same thing for the Switch too. I think right off the bat they're going to be expensive. We know that already.
Sure.
But it's going to have its issues.
Yep.
I would say the first couple months I would probably stay away.
Yeah.
Because of the new system. The Switch had a ton of issues
Yeah.
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
this first started, and then as they got better and better, it was better. But the problem I have is that they were so ambitious with the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
You look at like the Pokemon game that runs at 26 frames per second.
Which is
That's disgusting.
no, hold on.
Disgusting.
You can't give that. You can't say that is the Switch's fault.
Oh,
It is.
absolutely.
It
not.
is Game Freak's fault.
Absolutely.
Have you seen stuff like Xenoblade Chronicles on there?
Oh yeah,
and like
I have.
all these games.
Look at Zelda.
So the reason why we had Arceus, sorry, not to
No,
like
go.
completely pivot, but you remember when we had Arceus Legends?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the studio that made Xenoblade Chronicles, which is so to give you reference, old man, the reason why Xenoblade Chronicles is like this massive RPG that uses the engine like great. Like there's
Sure.
so many different games on the Switch that take advantage of it and really know how to optimize that engine, so you can get like stuff that looks like it would be on the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Or, like what's the generation back from the Switch?
The 360.
No.
Switch
It's like the one-
This is the Wii U.
No. I'm talking about like Microsoft. Doesn't matter. Like
the
PS3
one.
type stuff.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still
You
the
would see-
Xbox One.
Yeah,
I
so
think.
like you would see like PS3 stuff on the
yeah.
Switch, right? That's
Yeah.
like what you would kind of get. And that's rough on a mobile processor.
Sure.
man. But this company knew how to do it.
Yeah.
And they were the ones that were outsourced to make Arceus.
which makes
Okay.
perfect sense. Arceus?
I say Arceus, but it doesn't matter.
Arceus?
Arceus.
I'm going to say Arceus, dude.
Arceus?
Dude, so for the longest time, We're gonna talk about pronunciation for like 2 seconds, I swear. And it's nerdy stuff.
Welcome to English class.
So, like, I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. I don't know if you guys have ever
Yeah.
heard of Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter is
Heard,
one of
never
my...
played.
Not as cool as Monster Rancher, but we'll get there.
I
Oh,
know.
Monster Rancher.
And look, I still have my game or my CD of NSYNC in my
Yes,
PC.
that's fair.
Oh my god,
Being
what monster
copied-
do we get from
I don't
it?
know, like Mochi or whatever.
Probably Mochi.
Yeah, probably Mochi.
They
Mochi's
were
like
all
the default.
Mochi.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. So
Anyway.
so like there's a monster called Lagiacrus, right?
Yep.
But ever since I was in college,
Yeah.
it was Lagiacrus
Got
because it sounds way better.
Oh yeah, it sounds like a dragon.
Yeah. It is a dragon. It's like a sea serpent dragon.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we were watching. It's like we're watching like the developers talk about it, and Capcom releases a trailer where it says Lagiacrus, and I'm like, oh well, this is really disappointing. I'm just gonna keep calling it Lagiacrus.
Yeah.
I feel like Lagiacrus is better.
It doesn't
Yeah.
that sound awesome? Like
Yeah.
But Arceus sounds
Yeah.
like shit. Arceus sounds proper.
Arceus.
Arceus.
That would be with a K.
Arceus also
Is Arceus not spelled with a K?
No, Arceus is Arceus.
Are you sure it's not
Yes.
a K?
I am 100% sure.
definitely no K in that.
Why would I
Oh my
mistake?
God.
Why would I mistake Arceus or Arceus for Arceus with a K?
I don't know. How-
Arc, like
all
an
this
arc reactor though.
Yeah,
Like
like
an
Iron Man, the crossover.
Wow,
We're getting everything back together. Oh my god, sorry, we're burning John's brain out, dude.
I've lost it. It's gone.
The
Dang.
energy
Arceus,
drink is
Arceus.
not releasing the synapses from John's brain
Dude,
at
it's
this point.
fine.
Spoilers,
Dude, the
they're
neurons
burned
are fine. Man, but like when we really talk about
Say
this,
Bud Light. Sponsor us, Bud Light.
oh my god.
Please don't sponsor us, Bud Light. I'm not drinking that shit.
Hold on. This is the part that might get me kicked off the show.
Oh.
I actually enjoy Bud Light.
Oh, I mean, you should
Wow.
always drink water throughout the day.
Yeah, dude, I love my beer flavored water. Dude, I hate hard beer. I hate like beer. I think beer's too like heavy.
You don't like an IPA that puts some hair on your back.
Dude, my brother had me trying our IPA like 15 years ago,
Yeah.
and I haven't talked to my brother since.
I'm just picturing
That's fair.
James waking
That's
up from
fair.
a cold
Whoa,
sweat.
whoa.
No more IPAs. No more IPAs.
Dude,
Please.
do you remember when the IPA?
You know you're not supposed to drink it with a washcloth over your face.
Does it smell like chloroform?
Dude, I can't believe the fact that like we went through this whole phase of microbrews and
Yeah.
IPAs and all this other stuff. And like that was like when I was like 21. Like we went through that whole phase. And I'm gonna let you know, man, a lot of them were shit.
yeah.
Like, but everybody held their nose and they said, this is great because this is a local microbrewery. And I'm like, yeah, but I could also just drink the tap water. And that is also a
Yes,
microbrewery.
lead. Moving.
Sorry. All right. So back to the whole point, right? We're talking about like Switch 2.
Well,
Yeah,
you-
yeah.
I mean, listen, you guys were talking about lead. That makes sense because
Yes.
you must have had a lot in your room, because you said you liked the Pokemon game and
Which
how
one?
it ran.
What?
Wait, which-
no. I
which
said
No,
Pokemon?
Sword, there's,
Sword
not-
and Shield?
no, I
not
never
Sword
said that.
Shield.
I said that wasn't acceptable. I said Arceus was
Like
like
that
Arceus.
makes-
I thought you were trying to
No,
like.
let's go
no,
Pikachu.
Legends. Legends was really
Oh.
good. Legends was
Oh,
like,
I know.
and I think Legends. Even my friends that were Pokemon players that like played the games and they stopped and they came back for Arceus.
Yeah.
Arceus was like one of the best games ever made.
You just said
Yeah.
Arceus.
I know. I'm
Did
doing
it.
it.
We did
I'm
it,
doing
John.
it. John, I'm doing it on
Air
purpose
5.
to not trigger you.
Love you.
I'm changing the way that I say stuff live, and then I'll go
Wow.
straight back to saying Arceus.
Yes.
Once
It'll
you
be a
lose.
good 5
Yeah,
minutes.
it's okay.
I agree, though. Arceus was a great game.
Yeah, like Legends was awesome. I love
Amazing.
Legends. When we get Legends Z, that's gonna be so fun.
I hope it's still the same company.
Let's see.
I really hope they didn't use their internal team.
So the company is called Monolith Software.
Okay.
And I believe they were bought out by Nintendo. So
That's fine.
no, I know, which means that I think they're gonna be using it.
Okay,
So-
good. That'll be good because
If they use Game Freak, it's cooked. I'm sorry, dude. Like,
Sword and Shield ran fine.
Sword and Shield was not good though.
It was fine.
Yeah, but
I think fine is a great explanation.
No.
of
We
it.
need to stop. We need to stop being okay with fine from Pokemon games. That's how we get to Sword and Shield.
I think
That's how
Sword
we
and
get to-
Shield was fine.
That's how
I
we
think,
get to Scarlet and Violet.
I think
Scarlet
Scarlet
and
and
Violet.
Violet was just a hot piece of garbage.
Dude, which is so sad because like
The storyline was good.
yeah, like
Sure.
And the Pokemon designs were fine.
Yeah.
It was
Like-
just a great game railing shit. I don't know if you knew this, but the biggest issue they had is that when you're looking in a specific direction, it is rendering everything in front of you and a large chunk around you too.
Is that why when people play it on emulators,
It runs perfect?
It runs perfectly fine?
Because you have the resources to run everything at once.
That makes me think that when they dev this stuff, they dev it on like a PC, and then they port it to the Switch.
They dev it on a Switch too.
Wow.
It's the internal team that's doing it.
I know.
They probably have test machines because supposedly the Switch 2 is supposed to be backwards compatible.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah.
That means Scarlet and Violet will actually run fine for once.
And I think the Switch 2 is supposed to have the same performance as a Xbox or a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah, PlayStation 4 Pro is what they're
Yeah.
doing. Which is cool.
1.7
That's really cool.
teraflops or something.
So yeah, so you get this idea with like these chips and everything. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's we talked about a lot.
Sure.
The answer is do you do this? Do you get a Switch 2? You have kids. So the answer is that if you feel like treating your kids. That's it.
No. Anyway, speaking of internal teams without transitioning to John's mom, we're going to talk about Pokemon.
What does that even mean?
I don't get
There's
it.
not even a joke in there. It's just
Yeah,
like
it's just
Anyway,
Texas is pretty far away, just like your mother. What?
the moon has lots of holes,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like your mother.
Oh my god! What did you do to my mom?
anyway, we're going to talk about, since we're on the subject of Pokemon,
Here we
there's
go.
some scalping going on right
Yeah.
now. If you're a card collector, I know that scalping hasn't really been a thing since post-pandemic, I think.
Yeah, like right after
but-
with like Logan Paul and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Logan Paul kind of blew up the trading card game market again, coming out of the pandemic. If you were a card collector before, or maybe just keeping some cards stockpiled away to pay for a bill that you didn't expect. But I think that this new set of EVs, if you don't know what EV is, you're listening to the wrong podcast, but EV from Pokemon, they just released an Evolution set.
Another one?
Another one.
Evolving Skies was technically an evolution. So.
And they have what's called a God Pack inside these for the US version for the first time.
I was gonna say, yeah, they've always had them in Japanese versions.
Yeah,
Yes.
they've always been like a thing. And like
Right.
Magic even had them
Yeah.
as a thing for a little bit too.
So now I guess the Pokemon Company International has reduced the rations from their sales team to all their vendors.
Yeah.
Which goes to stores and I think also big box stores for the first wave of this card set, which is driving the price up astronomically. And then they're going to follow it up with another set which has the trainers involved. So they're just kind of setting themselves up for success here to just basically print money. And as we could see, there are stores that are just doubling the MSRP of what these products are costing. And I've seen like Costco's that are having to get security for their cards.
Did you see the Facebook post that someone posted where
No.
a store was like, we are no longer going to
Yes.
sell this
Oh, I did see
product
that.
for the safety of our employees
Yeah.
and because we just do not like you guys. No.
I mean, that was fine print at the bottom, obviously.
Yeah,
Yes,
no,
yeah.
but like think about how crazy it has to be.
Yeah.
Be like, look, we're not selling this product anymore. Eventually people, look, we're either going to have to, as a society,
Whoa.
quit this collecting. I know, right?
Yeah.
We're going to have to quit this whole like BS of, card collecting
Sure.
to this. Or like people are going to realize that like the problem with this is that everybody wants to play stocks and everybody wants to play the stock market.
Right.
But I don't know if you've ever tried to play the stock market before. It sucks to try to get into because it's a boys
Yeah.
club, right?
Right.
It's also called the Beanie Baby craze.
Yes, it's the same
Ooh,
exact
Beanie
thing.
Babies.
So
Except-
the problem is though, Pokemon did it a different way, and look at Moonbryon from
Yeah, I know.
Evolving Skies.
Yeah.
I know,
Thousands of dollars,
right?
thousands. Like Beanie Babies, everybody collected them.
To be
because-
fair, though, Moonbryon has a special story behind it because people were literally taking
Taking off
cards
the
off
assembly line.
off the assembly line.
not
Right.
assembly line. What are they called?
The packing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
facility.
The assembly lines. were
Right.
the word.
Well,
My
but
bad.
like the idea was that so folks that don't know, this Moonbryon from Evolving Skies. So Umbreon that
Yep.
like had the moon in the background
Yep.
was like the chase rare, right? It was
Sure.
one of the chase rares of the set.
Yep.
The reason why Evolving Skies is so expensive is because people were literally stealing cards off the production line.
Right.
And and because of that there was less involved or there was a lot of repeats or things of the sort, so it drove these numbers up. And because these cards went up in price, that made people want to buy more packs because they want to possibly pull it.
Right.
And then, so on and so forth. And you get into the situation that we're in now.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I enjoy going to local game stores and, participating in their events and playing the games and purchasing the product to help local businesses and even big box stores, because obviously those vendors see, it keeps the games fresh, right? No matter what the game is, whether you're Magic the Gathering player, Lorcana, what have you. If you see product on the shelves being bought and sold at an even pace, you think, oh, this is pretty neat. It's healthy. When you see people stealing stuff off the shelf, it takes it away from people trying to get into the game or just trying to get that, not necessarily flashbang effect, but that excitement behind opening card packs or just doing the thing. And I really like that about trading card games. And that's why we talk about it so much here on the show. But I think that that's a big part for me, is that I want sets to be dispersed evenly. I think that that should be a thing that happens. That should be a positive thing that companies want to do, and they have the facilities to do that. We're not, Pokemon's not on a strike.
Oh my God. So the funny thing is that if you guys don't know this, but artificial scarcity is a thing.
Yeah.
Right? They drive up the amount of sets and the price of sets
by
making it look like it's hard to get.
Sure.
Right? Like not everybody can be as lucky as us three who know the owners of our LGS and pre-ordered our stuff before they announced the price drop. Or the price raise. Right?
Yeah.
And it sucks, right? But also at the same time, I don't want to be like, yo, don't make your bucks, sell your stuff under. But these folks that aren't willing to just simply go to not buy into the craze, there's symptom of the disease, right?
Sure.
So if I'm selling something, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be on my fucking soapbox here, right? But if I'm standing there and I'm like, man, look, I have this thing that's MSRP for $60. I'm selling it for $90.
Yep.
And then someone cut stock and all this other stuff. We could sell it for $120.
Right.
Well, yeah, but just sell it at $90, man. It's better for the community that way. You're gonna get more people in.
Right.
And here's my issue with that.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think that's the LGS's fault. They're at mercy of the distributors.
That's also true.
Distributors, I think, are the, not so great ones who are out there scalping.
Yeah.
They're out there making sure that they reserve these, which is fine.
Yep.
But then they just turn around and triple the price.
Oh, well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that taking out the distributor chain. I'm saying is $60 MSRP is what they're receiving it at.
Yeah.
Let's assume that the LGS is receiving it at that.
Sure. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Then I'm saying well, then maybe you just, it's this idea of there's this idea of price memory and although part of me is dude, sell something, get as much of your bag as you can.
Yeah. Right.
Right. I totally get it. But also at the same time, there's this idea that if you do it, then everybody's just going to buy your stock and turn it around and sell it for higher.
Sure.
But also at the same time, if everybody's doing this and everybody agrees on it, then it's whatever. I don't know. But that's price fixing. That's illegal in the United States.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that the best positive alternative is if they are going to have a scarcity product for the collectors or for the high-end buyers and things like that. If you're not going to have that much allocation, just flood the market with some of the more accessible product. And that way there's something for somebody to get.
So is this ETB, the Evolution set, is this a collector's product or is it a game product? Because it's both.
It's what's labeled as a holiday set.
Okay.
So it's not a main set. There's no
Shining
pre-release.
Fate, Hidden Fate.
Right. It's all the in-between sets, which sometimes have good cards. And that's the thing, is if you're a competitive player, you get a few cards out of the set that are playable.
Right.
And maybe in a future set or in months as newer sets come out, maybe some of those other cards become playable, but they're also cheaper because then the set's been out for a while.
And people are trying to make their money back by flooding the market with these cards.
Exactly. So I think that the thing is that if you sell something separately that has decent cards, and then also have the collector set where somebody can pull a god pack and maybe it's really rare, and then they sell the cards and so on and so forth. And they have the disposable income, and they have, they are a collector. Maybe they have their own content that they do it on.
Right.
Sure, go ahead.
Do you know that Magic solved this problem in like the weirdest way that that everybody hated?
Yeah.
But then now people kind of enjoy it. So it crashed the market by releasing these things called collector's packs.
Right.
They're about $20 a pack, right? You open them and they have like max rarity
Yeah.
or like chances at even higher max rarity, foils of a bunch of stuff, and like it's flooded with good cards. And the reason being is that it crashes the secondary market. So your stuff becomes a lot cheaper, et cetera, et cetera. That may not be good or that may not be bad. The other thing that I was thinking about is there's one quote that enters my mind when I think about all this.
Yeah.
And it's like the Industrial Revolution, its consequences, quoting Uncle Ted there. Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's-
Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber.
Uh,
I think I just flashbanged John.
All right.
No, all right. But enough about that. So should you buy a Switch 2? The answer's
Okay, so
maybe.
Should you buy a Switch 2? We're gonna take a quick break here,
yep.
and when we come back, we'll let you know the definite answer of the three of us.
2, 1. Hello, everybody.
Hold on, wait. You got it. It's got to be 3, 2.
The
I
one,
don't get
Then
it.
you go.
the one is silent.
You do the one silent.
Why is the one silent?
I don't know.
It's
what they do on
usually
TV.
3, 2, 1. Then there's a beat. Then you go.
No, it's 3,
That's like-
2.
Who got beat?
It's like rock paper scissors, where you're going like. By the way,
Spock.
we're already back. Everybody, welcome back
Oh,
to the Game Boyz Podcast. The Game Boyz with
We
the
haven't
Z.
even said the name, did we?
No, we did,
Yeah, we did.
I am
Yeah.
so far out of this.
Wow.
dude. Are you like?
Guys, I'm in my own chair over here.
And no man's an island except for John.
No.
So okay, I mean, like I don't
The
know.
Switch 2.
Yeah, so the Switch 2,
Yeah.
don't buy it.
Got it.
Don't
Like,
buy it.
I mean,
I definitely don't think I would buy it currently. And the reason is I do want to see if they come out with a secondary version come holiday season. That's my speculation.
I don't think they'll make it in the first year.
No, I think
It would be like-
the Switch 2 X3 Lite Plus Pro
Yes.
Yeah. The
subscription model.
Switch to DS. That's what I'd like.
What the heck was the Apple thing called?
Which one?
The Apple subscription model.
That's called an iPhone.
That the one that they
James.
wanted you to subscribe. Oh my god.
The one. The Apple one.
No, was it like the Apple 7 to, or the Apple 9 to 5?
What?
Do you not remember this?
No.
Okay.
That's called
So-
Genius.
So the Apple 9 to 5 was a subscription thing.
Oh, on the original iPhone.
No. This wasn't original iPhone.
Oh my.
This
oh,
was
the one about email, though, right?
No. The Apple 9 to 5 was a thing where they wanted you to subscribe per month to pay for your phone. So the idea was that instead of owning your phone,
Yeah.
you would essentially be in a subscription service, and then you could trade your phone in and upgrade it anytime you wanted, right? All this other
I
stuff,
do
but you
remember
pay
that.
monthly. So they didn't push it to the market. They tested it internally, and it failed terribly. Their employees didn't want to do it, and Apple had to like acquire its own line of credit,
Yeah.
and they had to have their own bank.
They
which
had that Barclay card at
Yeah.
one point. I remember that.
Yeah, and they still have the Apple cards, which are okay, right?
Yeah.
Like, but you know,
Is that any different than what the frick I'm doing right now with my phone?
what do you
No,
what do you mean?
it's-
What are you
it's-
doing?
I
right
had
the
the Apple
cell
upgrade
phone
program.
Yeah,
Cell
it's
phone
kinda-
carriers do that too. It's the same
right.
thing.
It's just not financed by Apple,
yeah.
right? And it's not an Apple direct plan. So,
Kind of want that.
but you don't. Though.
Apple, for one, sponsor us.
No, oh
Yeah,
my God,
right.
no.
We have
No.
so many of your
Does
products
Apple
here.
literally sponsor anyone? I feel like
No,
they don't.
no,
they
no,
would
no,
never
no,
would.
no, no,
Ooh,
no.
Speaking of which, CES was this week.
It was, and I have
Wow.
seen exactly 0, except the Enron egg.
I did see
Isn't-
there's like a Samsung window.
Oh, there's always been a Samsung window.
Yeah,
They do that every
That's true.
freaking year.
yeah. They
yeah.
have like. So, do you guys know about this? Do you guys know about the foldable screen stuff? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the OLED
So,
that can.
yeah. Do you guys know that we've had that technology since like the 80s?
Oh yeah.
And like, it's crazy that like it just all of a sudden became popular. But
Yeah.
became efficient.
Yeah, so the thing I don't like about all right, you ready to get like real nerdy talk? Maybe
Oh,
this is
yeah,
too much.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe this is too
Reel
much.
it in.
I don't really care for so this is for people who like, you know, really, really like graphics cards and stuff like that. So there's something
Yeah.
I'll
I
kinda,
love mine. I sent it to Valentine.
The graphics card?
Yeah.
You have an onboard chip on your Mac Studio.
Yeah, dude.
Shut your
What the hell are you
So-
talking about? He's over like, I'm a real gamer.
All right, I got a story time.
Yeah,
before we
I'm
get into
ready.
this. So, over the past, I don't know, like maybe a month ago, like right before Christmas, Marvel Rivals came out. Right?
I did
Oh,
see
I've been
that.
playing
It's
I
all over
love
the
Marvel
place.
Rivals. It's so fun.
It's Overwatch,
Yeah.
but good.
So I
Yeah.
have two stories with Marvel Rivals. The
Yeah.
story of the week that I wanted to bring up that I was saving for this
Uh-huh.
was the fact that people were getting banned from Discord yesterday
Mm.
for forwarding a video of Susan Storm in her Malice skin. So do you know what Malice is? Malice is like a villain version of Susan Storm that looks like she's in like BDSM wear. But it's not because of sexual
That's terrible.
things.
Where is it?
Yeah,
Where'd
no,
you see
dude,
that?
Dude, everybody calls it the Gooner skin, like, and like it's great. But people were getting banned for forwarding the trailer to other people because the Discord AI bot was picking it up and flagging it as child safety.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
And because it
For
was
Storm?
for Susan Storm.
Susan Storm.
Yeah, so Invisible Woman
Uh,
of the Fantastic Four.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're good.
so it's really funny because if you get flagged for child safety, you're not allowed to appeal your account.
Oh.
So people were getting permabanned for this.
Wow.
And Marvel Rivals, because it's NetEase, which is a Chinese company, kind of was just like, look, we can't help you. Throw our hands up in the air.
Good luck.
What do you want us to do about it?
Yeah.
Right? So
That's crazy. How is the gameplay, by the way?
it's so fun.
It's so
Yeah.
good.
It's better Overwatch. It is better Overwatch.
That's exactly what it is. It's so much fun. I have thrown hours in. It's so good.
I
Dude,
used to
alright.
play Marvel Snap,
I'm Jeff.
and that was a great game.
My name is Jeff.
But as far as Rivals looks like it's obviously a much well
done, great. game.
done, good.
So the reason why Rivals is fantastic.
Yeah.
So I could go into like a lot of game philosophy with it, but I think
Sure.
I'd rather stick more onto like pop culture type stuff.
Yeah.
Is that they know the source material that they're really going for.
Sure.
So like my eyes were like fucking popping out of my head the other day because the new characters that come out tonight at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's tonight.
Yeah, Susan Storm and Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. And so the skins for Susan Storm is Malice, right? And then for Reed Richards, they gave him the Maker. So
Okay.
if you're a fan of Marvel Comics,
Yeah.
the Maker is the villain form of Reed Richards from like Ultimate Marvel stuff.
Right.
And he is like the big villain right now in Marvel. Well, he's
Nice.
one of the big villains in Marvel Comics. Like
Sure.
so like huge. And I was just like spazzing out. I was loving like how much like how freaking much the Maker was, dude. And I was like, this game is awesome. This game is fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
It's quick.
yeah,
They're
that too.
5-minute games.
Maybe
I
at
love
most
that.
And that's
15
it.
minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe at most 15 minutes because
Okay.
you have 2 6-minute rounds.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like well, that's. Do you play ranked then?
Yeah. Well, I
Okay.
do both. I do
So, quick play, which is just literally like.
No, you could have point capture, right? So like
Yeah.
so point capture can be 6 minutes, right?
Is
So-
it like a MOBA?
No, it's
It's Overwatch.
Yeah, you ever play like TF2?
No.
Like Team Fortress 2,
No, I
team-based-
remember reeling
He
it
hasn't
back
played
to the
any.
first section.
It's like
here.
GoldenEye.
Okay.
It's nothing
like-
like
It's a
Golden.
No,
first-person
hear me out.
shooter?
You remember
No.
so Golden so imagine you ever play Perfect Dark?
Yes, I did actually.
Oh, got one.
No, but it's like so I know you're like, no, it's not GoldenEye, but hear me out. I'm gonna relate it to GoldenEye.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like imagine you have GoldenEye, but
Sure.
you had 2 TVs set up next to each other.
Yep.
One TV, you get to play like someone is Bond, someone is Odd Job,
Yeah.
someone is like, you know what I mean? Like,
God.
yeah.
I know who all these people are.
And like, you know how you had all different weapons and all
Yes.
this stuff for all
Yep.
these guys?
Yeah.
So imagine they only had one weapon
Yeah.
and they have abilities. Right, so like you had Odd Job's hat as one of the abilities, right?
Got
And
it.
all this. John's giving me this
This
look
is just like explaining AI to my grandma.
Yes.
Do you know what pen and paper is, Granny?
Hell, do you remember the old rotary phones where you went?
Now the big long rectangle, that's the space bar.
I mean, so it's not a MOBA, right?
Okay.
It's just like a team shooter, right? So
Okay.
like,
I've played Fortnite before.
yeah, it's literally
Nothing
it's
like Fortnite.
It's literally just Fortnite. Like, dude, you have to cut your losses, and you have
That's
to feel like
fair.
it's just
okay.
Fortnite.
Yeah, good enough. It's
Sure.
it's Fortnite, but like one of the game modes is a big circle, and the team that stands in it the longest wins.
Yeah.
So a MOBA.
No, Mo was oh gosh.
Okay, dude.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
But like, it's so fun, man. Like,
Okay.
like so I'm really bad at shooting. Right?
Sure.
Like I'm like a terrible. I suck at aiming. So
you play like Adam Warlock or something?
no. So no. If I'm playing support, I'm playing Loki. Unironically playing
Loki's
Loki.
pretty sick.
I love Loki. So Loki throws down little like copies. PJ for reference. Loki
Yes.
throws down like little copies of himself.
Yeah.
Right, and they all shoot in the same direction he's shooting. He's a
Okay.
healer, right? So
Okay.
if you shoot allies, you heal them, whatever.
Just like in WoW.
Yeah, just like in WoW. Like, I don't know what
hell
else
is
to tell
going
you.
on here?
Dude, you just accept it and you roll with it, man.
Right?
So so what happens is
My
that,
mom had wheels. She'd be a bicycle.
Yes.
so okay, but like Loki's all
She's
about
more of a unicycle job.
What does that even mean? We're back to like nonsense.
Oh my god, I can't wait until we do the second episode and there's no your mom jokes because we burnt them all out.
Oh no.
I know there's gonna be like 10 times as much.
Anyway.
But like I don't know, man, dude. Just Marvel Rivals is super fun, right? Like, so the character I've been playing a bunch is I've been playing Scarlet Witch because I
Okay.
can't aim.
Because the insta alt is easy to just.
Oh, kind of. It's not, dude. Once you get to a higher rank, though, people just shoot you and you die during your ulti.
Sure do.
You like float up into the air and then you explode in this giant AOE and it kills anybody that it sees.
Okay.
But then people could just shoot you out of the air. It's like Halo. You ever
Okay.
play Halo?
I did play Halo.
Yeah, it's like-
Oh,
Yes.
we got another.
It's like
The
it's
one
like
time.
it's like Pogs.
You get
Did you ever play that skiing game where you were going down the mountain and then
ever
like
play
a
Snowboard Kids?
snow, like the abominable
Tricky?
snowman would just come and grab you and eat you and run off and you lose?
Yes.
It's
Are you
nothing like
talking
Tony Hawk?
but okay. So hold on a second. Not to change the subject,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I just played the Tony Hawk 1+2,
Okay.
the remake that came
Yeah.
out,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
HD one. Holy cow! Does it bring back the fields?
Dude,
Really?
They kept the soundtracks.
are you allowed
No.
to still use the code to unlock Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Remember what I'm talking about?
No.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, back in
Oh, back in the day, the secret
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember the eyeball you could get.
Yep.
the
Yeah, you could
Neversoft
get
eyeball.
Spider-Man. Maybe it wasn't in 2. Maybe it was in 3.
Was it in 3?
I don't know.
I think
I
it
thought
was
it was
2.
in 2.
I think it's 2.
Maybe it's 2.
'Cause I played 1, 3, and 4. I didn't play 2.
I played-
And I don't know about.
I played
the-
Tony Hawk 64, 2 and 3.
I played 1 and 2.
Gosh, what a
that-
shocker.
Oh my god! All right,
That's a little visual joke. You can get that. From.
it is.
Yeah, you gotta
Kid
come back
shouldn't-
for that.
Anyway, I loved it. It is gorgeous.
Right.
They kept most of the stuff exactly the same. Added a little bit,
Right.
But you can play as everybody on all the maps any way you want. It is
Right.
it is a thing of beauty. It's 1 and 2. I wish they did 3 and 4.
You know he made so much money off those games.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like just licensing
The
his likeness
royalties,
out.
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, but you had to make a ton of money off that because the
Sure.
soundtrack must have been super expensive.
Oh,
to
my
license
God.
out.
The soundtrack was iconic.
But that let's be honest, half the reason we know half the ska songs on there
That's
is because of the
Tony
game.
Hawk.
I've
Yeah.
seen Less Than Jake a ton, and I rock out every time.
Yeah. I want
Yeah.
you to name me one current game, no matter the platform, that's got like the soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's,
shoot.
so I know one.
Yeah.
No, hold on. Are you talking about like licensed games or just in general games?
Let's just go in general.
In general, it's you need to listen to the soundtrack of a fighting game called Guilty Gear Strive.
Okay.
If we could do a setup here where you play it,
Yeah.
do you want to do it off your PC?
I'm just gonna run it as
And
a
then
background.
yeah, and then
music
you do it as a background noise. You want to do that? That'd be super cool. May we do that on the because we're gonna record our second episode.
We're gonna get freaking doxxed for that. That's what's gonna happen.
What do you mean?
Well, you can't use other people's music.
Oh, that's true. We can't put it on anything
Yeah.
monetized.
Not only did that, but it could also block it from different
That's
places
true.
too.
That's true.
Fun
That's true.
fact.
Well, funny enough. All right.
Thanks,
yeah, that's true.
YouTube.
Wow.
But after
fuck.
in between stuff, I will
Sure.
show you like the Guilty Gear Strive soundtrack.
All right.
It is like the sickest soundtrack. It is
Okay.
the soundtrack.
Okay.
If you like metal, rock, all this other stuff,
Yep.
it's poppy. It's the guy is what's called so it's a Japanese game. The guy who developed it is called a Westaboo.
Okay.
So you know what a weeaboo is? A weeaboo is a guy who's
is that like a
obsessed with-
waifu?
No, weeaboo. I feel like I'm explaining everything to my grandfather.
That's what I'm saying.
A weeaboo is someone that like is super into Japanese things.
Okay.
Like super into Japanese culture.
A
and things
weeb.
like- yeah, weeb. That's where
Yeah.
weeb comes from.
Yeah.
Weeaboo. So Westaboo is the opposite. It's
Yes.
someone that's Japanese or et cetera, that's obsessed with the Western culture.
Okay.
So like he like loves Western stuff.
Gotcha. It's
right?
like that guy
Western
from The
culture?
Office there.
Like our culture.
What's that? We have culture.
See, you don't know this because we live in the middle of it, but we do. John Wick is a fantastic movie.
I do take it for granted sometimes that our movies and music.
It's our main
tends to-
export.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
okay.
it's crazy, dude.
Okay.
Like
Primary
we don't
export.
export anything else but our media and our culture. It's
Yeah.
like fucking insane.
I export kids.
Wow. That's getting cut.
Okay. You're just gonna have a blast listening back to this. We should just don't even cut it, just beep it out. I export beep.
There we go. It'd be I
my
export.
There you go. It shut up late. All right.
Wow.
But
It's all right. Everything's fine.
yeah, everything's great. So I think with that we should probably wrap up the first episode.
Yeah, I mean that's it's been a wild ride here. There's been a lot talked about. If you have ADHD, we're sorry for sending you into a tiff here, but that's
I think that's exactly our main audience here.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
So. If we're gonna have anybody listening, it's gonna be
Sure.
people with ADHD.
Yeah, I
got
want to
3
listen to a
people in it.
podcast, but not pay attention to a single fucking thing while listening to it. But it's okay. Everything's fine, and you had a blast doing your thing.
Your shoe.
I
You're
am.
kicking the table and you just hear squeaking. I just keep
I
hearing squeaking.
don't hear
over and
any
over
squeaking,
again.
John. I think it's just you.
Yeah,
It
that's
might.
all right.
There's a decent chance it's in my head.
That's fair. Anyway, we've had a blast here in the Game Boyz podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed this first episode with many, many more to come. We are going to be signing off here one more time. I'm PJ. That's James and John joining me here as co-hosts, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Make sure to like and subscribe.